Welcome to the Kansas Department of Agriculture Milk Hauler and Sampler Video Training Series. This is Video 5, Direct Loading Milk Tankers. In this video, we will cover agitating the milk in the direct load tanker, verifying the temperature of the milk in the tanker, taking and handling samples for testing. Many dairy farms use direct loading milk tankers in place of traditional bulk tanks or silos. Farms that use direct load milk tankers pump pre-chilled milk straight into the tankers. Before beginning to load a milk tanker, verify that the wash tag is affixed to the tanker and in compliance. It's extremely important to obtain a representative sample of the milk in the tanker trailer. Therefore, it's your responsibility to make sure each tanker has been properly agitated. Kansas uses the Universal Sampling System, one sample that can be used for all laboratory analysis. At any time, without notification, the regulatory agency may collect and analyze the samples. You must sample each milk tanker after filling, and you must strictly follow the sampling procedures. You must handle all samples as if they were to be used for regulatory testing. The most effective method to agitate a direct load milk tanker is by air. This air supply must be from a safe source, and it has to be filtered at the point of use. While the tanker is being agitated, you must protect the dome opening from contamination. The air supply may contain foreign material. Using a disc filter can help prevent the milk from being contaminated. The amount of time required to effectively agitate a milk tanker before collecting a sample can vary. Milk within the tanker has to be agitated long enough to ensure that you can collect a representative sample. Improper agitation results in an inaccurate sample. If you're not sure how long to agitate a direct load tanker, immediately contact your supervisor, fieldman, or an inspector with the Kansas Department of Agriculture. After you've finished agitating the load for the right length of time, the temperature of the milk needs to be verified using a calibrated thermometer. You can only verify the temperature and later take samples from the milk tanker dome. Never verify temperature or take samples from the rear valve. Carry all your equipment to the tanker dome safely and without contaminating any items. To ensure that you don't contaminate the milk inside the tanker and that you protect the sample you're collecting, use disposable gloves after thoroughly washing your hands. Sanitize the metal stem of the thermometer for 1 minute with the prepared solution in your sample transfer instrument sanitizer. Insert the thermometer stem into the milk 1 to 2 inches and take the reading. Milk at the farm must be cooled to 45 degrees Fahrenheit within 2 hours after milking. Temperature should be maintained between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Prolonged temperatures over 45 degrees can cause off flavors and high bacteria counts. If the milk inside the tanker is not in the recommended range, notify the producer and the fieldman immediately. Next, you're ready to take samples for testing. Identify each sample container with the producer's patron number or state permit number and the date of pickup, the time of pickup, the milk temperature, and your initials. Always take an additional sample for temperature control. This sample is used to check the temperature of the milk samples at any time. This additional sample must be marked with the following: the words temperature control or TC or pilot. Make sure the dipper is clean and sanitized. It should remain in the sanitizing solution until you remove it to sample the milk. Open the sample container, being careful not to contaminate the interior of the container or cap. Never dip the sample container into the milk, and never put your hands in the milk. Rinse the dipper at least twice in the milk before taking the sample. Extend the sample dipper 6 to 8 inches into the milk and collect the sample. Make sure not to hold the sample container over the milk supply while pouring the sample. Fill the container no more than 3/4 full to allow enough room for mixing. Close and seal the container so it won't leak. When using Whirlpack bags, make sure enough air is trapped inside for proper mixing space. Immediately put the sample container in the refrigerated sample case and keep it between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure the level of ice and water is no higher than the milk level in the sample containers. Make sure you keep the samples in racks, in floaters, or properly bagged, so water from the melting ice doesn't contaminate samples. After sampling the milk, rinse the sample dipper with clean, drinkable water and return it to the container with sanitizing solution. Then close the tanker dome and place the seal through the eyelets. Also at this time, disconnect the milk transfer hose and seal the rear valve cover. Finally, to determine the exact amount of milk in the tanker, it must be weighed before and after it's loaded. A milk meter may also be used to determine how much milk is in the tanker. Either method is acceptable, and the total should be recorded on the manifest before leaving the dairy farm. Thank you for watching Video 5, Direct Loading Milk Tankers. In this video, we covered agitating the milk in the direct load tanker, verifying the temperature of the milk in the tanker, taking and handling samples for testing. You can watch this video again or take the test.